In the world of automotive excellence, few names command as much reverence and admiration as Ferrari. Behind the prancing horse emblem lies a rich history filled with ambition, innovation, and passion. This is the story of Enzo Ferrari, the visionary who transformed a small racing team into a global empire of speed and luxury. Welcome to the legend of Ferrari. It all began in 1898, in Modena, Italy, a town nestled in the heart of Italy's Emilia-Romagna region. Enzo Anselmo Ferrari was born to Alfredo and Adalgisa Ferrari, a modest family who owned a metalworking business. Enzo's early years were marked by tragedy, as his father and brother succumbed to illness during the 1918 flu pandemic. Enzo's relationship with cars began at a young age. As a child, he marveled at the machines of that era, and by the age of 10, he had attended his first race. Little did he know that his fascination would soon evolve into an all-consuming passion. As Italy industrialized, motor racing became a beacon of progress, a thrilling new sport that captured the imagination of young men like Ferrari. But before Enzo could chase his dream, World War I intervened, and like many young men of his time, he was drafted into the Italian army. Upon his return, he found that his family's business had collapsed. Enzo Ferrari was left with nothing but his determination and a love for speed. In the 1920s, Ferrari began his racing career in earnest, joining Alfa Romeo as a driver. Though he wasn't the fastest or the most fearless, Enzo was strategic. Racing, for him, was more than just speed, it was an art form, requiring precision, teamwork, and vision. His sharp understanding of racing dynamics quickly earned him respect, even if he wasn't destined to become a racing legend behind the wheel. Enzo raced with Alfa Romeo until 1931, when he decided to hang up his helmet and focus on something even more ambitious, building a team that could achieve success far beyond what he could do as a driver. And thus, Scuderia Ferrari was born. In 1929, Enzo Ferrari founded Scuderia Ferrari, a team of mechanics and drivers, to manage Alfa Romeo's racing activities. It was a bold move. Ferrari knew that true success came from the synergy between driver and machine. Under his leadership, Scuderia Ferrari became the beating heart of Italian motorsport, working out of a garage in Modena. But it wasn't all about winning races. For Enzo, it was about perfection. The early years were a whirlwind of victories and challenges. But Scuderia Ferrari wasn't just a team, it was an experiment in innovation. Ferrari had his sights set on building faster, more efficient race cars, machines that would not only win races but would change the very fabric of racing. In the 1930s, Europe found itself on the brink of war, and motorsport, like many industries, was about to be disrupted. World War II halted racing activities across the continent, and Ferrari's team was no exception. Yet, during this period, Enzo laid the foundations for what would become his own automotive legacy. In 1943, Ferrari relocated his factory from Modena to Maranello, a small town in northern Italy. The factory produced components for the Italian war effort, but Ferrari's dream had not died. He knew that once the war was over, he would return to motorsports, this time under his own name. In 1947, Ferrari introduced the 125S, the first car to bear his name. With a 1.5-liter V12 engine designed by Gioacchino Colombo, the car was a marvel of engineering. Ferrari was not just interested in speed, he wanted beauty, and the 125S was exactly that. This car was more than a machine, it was a work of art. The first race for the Ferrari 125S took place in May 1947, and while it did not win, Enzo Ferrari was undeterred. Just 2 weeks later, the car claimed its first victory in the Rome Grand Prix. It was a sign of things to come. Ferrari had arrived, and it was here to stay. Ferrari entered Formula One racing in 1950, and it didn't take long for the team to make its mark. In 1951, José Froilán González won the British Grand Prix, delivering Ferrari its first Formula One victory. The prancing horse was now a symbol of speed and excellence on the world stage. Enzo Ferrari's cars were not just fast, they were powerful, reliable, and beautiful. But the world of motorsport is brutal, and Ferrari knew that every victory came with sacrifice. His relentless pursuit of perfection pushed his team to the limit, sometimes too far. The 1960s brought both joy and heartbreak for Enzo Ferrari. In 1956, Enzo's beloved son, Dino, was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy, and after a long battle, he passed away in 1956. The loss of his son devastated Enzo, and to honor his memory, Ferrari released the Dino series of cars, elegant, nimble machines that embodied the spirit of Dino Ferrari. But tragedy continued to haunt Ferrari. The 1961 crash that claimed the life of his driver Wolfgang von Trips at the Italian Grand Prix, killing over a dozen spectators, shocked the motorsport world. The tragedy raised questions about the safety of racing and the risks that drivers took on the track. The mid-1960s brought another dramatic chapter in Ferrari's history, its legendary rivalry with Ford. Henry Ford II had attempted to buy Ferrari in 1963, but when the deal fell through, Ford declared war on the racetrack. The battle came to a head at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1966. After years of dominance, Ferrari faced a formidable challenge from Ford's GT40. In a dramatic race at Le Mans, Ford's superior endurance car finally dethroned Ferrari. It was a bitter defeat for Enzo Ferrari, but it only added to the lore of his brand. Ferrari was the underdog fighting against a corporate giant, and that, in itself, earned respect. By the 1970s, Ferrari had evolved from a racing team into a cultural icon. Its road cars, like the 308 GTB and the legendary Testarossa, became symbols of wealth, luxury, and uncompromising performance. Enzo Ferrari's name was no longer just associated with racing, he had built an empire that appealed to the elite, and Ferrari road cars became the ultimate status symbols. Hollywood took notice. Ferrari cars made their way into movies and television, from the flashy lifestyle of Magnum PI to the high-speed chases in Hollywood blockbusters. In these decades, owning a Ferrari wasn't just about driving, it was about making a statement. The car, with its iconic prancing horse logo, became synonymous with success and the finer things in life. On the racetrack, Ferrari continued to dominate. In 1975, Austrian driver Niki Lauda brought Ferrari its first Formula One World Championship since 1964. Lauda's cool precision behind the wheel, paired with Ferrari's engineering expertise, helped re-establish Ferrari as a force in Formula One. But Ferrari's triumphs were often shadowed by tragedy. In 1976, Niki Lauda suffered a horrific crash that nearly cost him his life. Defying all odds, Lauda returned just 6 weeks later to compete again, a testament to both his strength and Ferrari's commitment to racing. The 1970s and 1980s also saw the rise of legendary drivers like Gilles Villeneuve, whose fearless racing style captured the hearts of fans, and Jody Scheckter, who won the 1979 Formula One World Championship, bringing Ferrari back to the top. These years cemented Ferrari's place in racing history as a team that thrived under pressure, always pushing the limits of what was possible. In 1988, the world lost one of its greatest automotive pioneers. Enzo Ferrari passed away at the age of 90, leaving behind a legacy that had transformed not just motorsport, but the entire automotive industry. His death marked the end of an era, but Ferrari's spirit would live on in every car that bore his name. Enzo Ferrari was a man of contradictions, both ruthless and deeply passionate. He drove his team to the brink of exhaustion in the pursuit of perfection, yet he was deeply moved by the victories and the tragedies that defined his career. His legacy was not just in the cars he built, but in the emotion they evoked, on the track and on the streets. Even after Enzo Ferrari's death, the Ferrari brand continued to evolve. In the 1990s, a new chapter in Ferrari's Formula One dominance began, led by German driver Michael Schumacher. Schumacher joined Ferrari in 1996, and after several years of struggle, he brought the team unprecedented success, winning 5 consecutive world championships from 2000 to 2004. Schumacher and Ferrari became an unstoppable force, rewriting the record books and setting new standards for excellence in Formula One. The partnership between Ferrari's engineers and Schumacher's unparalleled skill behind the wheel created a golden era for the Scuderia, propelling Ferrari to the top of the motorsport world once again. While Ferrari's dominance on the track was undeniable, the company continued to innovate in the world of road cars as well. From the 1990s to the present day, Ferrari's engineers and designers pushed the limits of what a high-performance car could be. Cars like the Enzo Ferrari, named after the founder himself, became instant legends, blending extreme power with cutting-edge technology and unrivaled design. Ferrari's ability to blend beauty, speed, and engineering precision kept it at the forefront of automotive innovation. The release of hypercars like the LaFerrari, with its hybrid engine, showed that Ferrari was not just keeping up with modern technology, it was leading the charge into the future of performance and sustainability. Today, Ferrari stands as one of the most iconic brands in the world. Its cars, both on the track and on the streets, are revered for their design, power, and the unmistakable roar of their engines. Whether it's competing in Formula One or unveiling the latest model at a motor show, Ferrari continues to push the boundaries of what is possible in the world of automotive engineering. Ferrari is more than just a car company, it's a living legacy. The prancing horse represents not just speed, but a commitment to passion, innovation, and perfection that Enzo Ferrari instilled in his company over 70 years ago. Enzo Ferrari's dream was never just about building fast cars. It was about creating something that transcended speed, something that would stir the soul. Ferrari's cars, from the first 125s to today's latest models, are more than machines. They are the embodiment of a man's relentless pursuit of excellence, a symbol of what can be achieved when passion and precision meet. Today, the legacy of Enzo Ferrari lives on in every car that bears his name. From the streets of Modena to racetracks around the world, Ferrari continues to inspire awe, excitement, and respect. It is a legacy built on speed, but carried forward by an unyielding devotion to perfection. This is Ferrari. This is the legacy of Enzo Ferrari.